Heesen was founded here in Oss in 1978 by Franz Heesen. The first yacht he built was a 24-metre aluminium high-speed motor yacht, and that really set the DNA for the shipyard as we know it today. At that time it was a very small business indeed. There was just one shed and the harbour of Oss was largely undeveloped. Since then we've become well known for our high-speed aluminium, high-luxury range of yachts. About 70% of our production today is in aluminium, and about 30% is steel, traditional steel full displacement production. Between 1978 and today we've built a number of famous yachts, including Octopussy in the late 80s. Octopussy had a top speed of 52 knots and at the time was the fastest cruising yacht in the world. The shipyard today covers an area of about 4.5 hectares. We have 8 fitting out sheds. The largest today is capable of taking a 70-metre yacht. We have a hull assembly and superstructure assembly hall. In this respect we're quite unique amongst other shipyards in that we carry out most of the disciplines for building a yacht in-house. We have our own stainless steel works, we have our own carpentry shop for the non-luxury areas, and we have our own high luxury finished interior carpentry shop. So we can manage most of the disciplines required to build large complex projects such as the 65 and 70-metre motor yachts. We have a workforce of around 450 employees, about 325 are permanently based here in Oss, and about another 125 at our interior outfitting factory. Galactica Star is a very important yacht for us. Firstly, it's the biggest yacht we've built, but secondly, she's also in the top 200 largest yachts in the world today. But aside from that, the most important and most striking feature of Galactica Star is her phenomenal speed. She has a maximum speed of just under 30 knots, which really sets her apart from all the other 200 yachts in the largest 200 selection. I would say in that respect she's probably one of the top 4 or 5 yachts in the world, because she combines this considerable size, 65 metres, 1,000 gross tons, with this unusually high speed of, as I say, just under 30 knots. Natural evolution or strategic planning, it's a bit of both. Natural evolution in so much as we are probably the market leader for lightweight aluminium high-speed luxury yachts, and for an owner who is interested in building a yacht of that type, then it's understandable they would come to us when we built the 65 metre. So in that respect it's a natural evolution. The 70 metre which follows on is in the same vein. She's aluminium, she's lightweight, she's high speed. In fact she'll be a little bit faster than Galactica Star. She'll have a maximum speed of around 30 knots, but again is a much bigger volume yacht. So that's also evolution, I would say. Strategic planning, for sure. These are large aluminium yachts that have exceptional high speed, which is very much the DNA of our shipyard. Beyond speed, which we've already touched on, the other big advantage of the fast displacement hull form, which is what these yachts are based on, is their exceptional performance. When the 65 metre was tank tested in Southampton, the tank test operators couldn't believe the efficiency of the hull, and it's transpired that she is about 30% more efficient than a conventional full displacement yacht. So you can either use this to your advantage to achieve very high speeds, or you can turn this on its head and you get much greater fuel efficiency, so you can run the yacht for longer periods on less fuel consumption than you would have in an equivalent hull. In the early 2000s we built a very successful range of 37 metre aluminium fast yachts. They also had a top speed of 30 knots. And similar to that time we also started with the 47 metre steel full displacement yachts, of which we have built 11 to date. So as the years have rolled by, the size of yachts has increased, and this trend has not changed at all. Today we are building 2 55-metre yachts, various 50-metre yachts, 47-metre yachts, of course the 70-metre. So it just reflects the evolution and development of the shipyard as we go from strength to strength.
We're given some specific ideas from the owner, like he would like to see a bigger pool, which was fairly easy to accommodate because of the added length. So we have a pretty decent pool, nearly 6 meters long. The other thing he was very preoccupied with was full protection on the sun deck, not just from the sun and the rain, but also from the wind. We were asked to retain the arches connecting the bridge deck and the main deck aft. So whatever we did in terms of developing the design of the superstructure, in particular the sun deck, I thought it was important that we try to find a coherent design language between those very strong elements of the boat. Well, you have the standout features you can see, like the arches on the top deck to disguise the glazed-in top deck, and then you have features you don't necessarily see, like the bigger pool. The foredeck is also something which we have tried to use differently. It is primarily a helicopter landing deck, but we've suggested we also use it as a party deck, also for entertainment. Trying to provide a certain continuity in the design with the other Heesen. It was important that when you see the boat, you would instantly recognize it as a Heesen.
We received a briefing which concerns a light, modern beach style with a logic flow between all spaces as functionality as well as materials. The character of the interior design is a bit monochromatic with a lot of natural materials, woods, leathers, marbles, stones, and paneling with bleached wenge or stained wenge containing leathers ranging from Kalusha to feel. We have also the carpets, which are very soft, so every tactile material is quite soft. You have to think about the silk wool carpets to create a logic flow throughout every space. So for example, the main deck lounge is cut in 3. Although it's one space, there are 3 functionality fields. One is on the aft is like a lounging area where you can sit down with a self-service bar. In the center you have a couch which is almost like a TV setting with a large screen. The screen is positioned between 2 fireplaces, and then you have a large glass separated art piece, and that the forward part is then the position of the dining. Same deal for the beach, for example, which is always a challenge for a designer because of the maritime environmental factors. We wanted to avoid that it had the feel of a lazarette, so it was really a beach. Luxurious materials which are durable to weather circumstances, and they connect really to the complete interior. So it's not if you enter that area that you feel that you enter a lazarette.
The innovations behind the FTHF were developed by Van Ossana Naval Architects, and it was Heesen who has adopted the concept for the first time. This was for the first time on 65-meter Galactica Star, and now we see the concept return for the 70-meter. And it really shows progressive thinking of the yard, that they've been willing to adopt this concept, and we feel that it really has to be applauded. The fast displacement hull form offers multiple advantages over conventional hull forms. The first and foremost being in the efficiency of the concept. Traditional displacement hull forms are well known to be very efficient at low speed cruising, but at higher speeds they quickly build up a lot of wave resistance, limiting their maximum speed. Hardshine hull forms are very efficient at high speed cruising, but their low speed cruising is not as efficient as a round bilge hull. The FTHF sets out to combine those two, the low and high speed cruising with high efficiency, and that's also the main success of the concept. This high efficiency is achieved by 5 key features. First of all, it's a round bilge hull form with a special optimized bulbous bow shape. It has a spray wheel, a very shallow transom, and it uses an interceptor to control the dynamic trim. The design brief for the 70 meter called for a maximum speed of well over 30 knots, and after looking at several options, it was decided to add a booster jet to the design. This is a water jet situated between the two propellers, and it is driven directly by a medium-sized diesel engine. And after further research, it was decided to combine the booster jet with normal fixed-pitch propellers instead of more complicated controllable pitch propellers, which is often seen in combination with a water jet. And that really reduces the complexity of the system and also the operating of the vessel.
The construction capacity is not so much influenced by the size, other than its physical space, what we need and nicely can facilitate the Yachts 6. The setup of Heesen capacity being 35 to 40 craftsmanship, being supported by prefab subcontracting, is more than able to build this beautiful hull in the reserved schedule time for this project. Increased length and volume as such don't increase the challenge to build this construction, because we are well set in our organization to handle this kind of quantities, and it's more or less as any other. The pre-design process is very, very important, and is quite different as we approach it from the past. In the past, we very much went into production, and this has changed. The last 2 decades, we approach it very differently, going to an ultimate preparation, even prior contract, in order to know what we are contracting, and immediately after contract, taking our time to go very much into detail, to be very secure about the building process, and having taken all the required decisions together with the owners in order to make it a very smooth and efficient build as such. The water jet booster was actually a question which was a result from the owner's question. The owner asked, why not 30? Because Galactica Star, performing contractually 28, 29 knots, very often in the field doing 30 knots, and why not doing a 3 as well, starting a speed with a 3 as well. While the boat was being bigger, of course, this was a huge challenge, and the project was already under construction, and we took this question home from an owner's visit and went on studying it. And as a result, we have decided to install an additional engine, 16V MTU engine, 4000 type, with a jet booster in order to achieve this speed. It's being the largest, but really this project represents Heesen in the sense of being the Heesen DNA, as I personally have experienced over the last 35 years, being innovation, being speed, being lightweight, being challenging, to construct this project in a very controlled way and to its ultimate quality and performance.